Hi everybody, Nightmare Comics 1. And this is a new thing I'm gonna try. I have a guest this week, and if he would like to introduce himself, he can now.
Well, I would not like to introduce myself, but I am Big Red 310, graciously invited on the weekly Pull List Review show.
If you follow my other channel, then you know of this guy. This guy has pretty much taken the torch that I left behind because I don't really make wrestling videos that much anymore. And he's one of those guys that kind of ran with it. So I'll put his channel in the description. He makes good videos. Y'all should definitely check him out. But we're not talking about wrestling right now. This is the geeky shit. This is even more geeky shit.
That's right.
This is the pull list of September 7th, 2011. And I'm going to let him go first because I didn't even get this book. So, yeah, go ahead.
All right. The first book on our list this week is Action Comics #1. I got it just because, Action Comics is a pretty historical comic book. This is the first one to relaunch. My cousin wanted to get it, see what it was all about. Now, I've heard horror stories, because I still am somewhat fairly new to comics. I've heard horror stories from this man and a one True Slayer about the man Grant Morrison.
Horror stories.
Just vile comments on this man. So I was going in there with really low expectations. And I came out of it feeling, the book wasn't that bad. I read JLA right before this, and in JLA they make Superman look like such an asshole, like at the very end, like this bully that needs to be beaten. And then when I read this book, I thought it would be the same thing, but it wasn't really. It started off a little like that, but then as the story progressed, more and more you kind of see the gentle, soft-spoken, wants to help humanity type of superhero. And I thought the book was fine for what it was. It was a nice first issue, I thought. I didn't think it was anything too tremendous. They told a story, and I don't want to spoil too much for it. And like I said, I just thought it was a good start to the series, and it definitely was not as bad as I was expecting.
I don't hate Grant Morrison. Let me clear this up now before people put comments. Don't hate one of the best writers of our generation. I don't agree with that statement, but a lot of people think so. But I'll say this, okay? I think that when it comes to stories that have nothing to do with anything that come in their own self-contained universe, he's one of the best ever. I mean, All-Star Superman, if I had to put together a list of my favorite Superman comics, probably be number 3. So I give him props for props is due. It's just when it comes to him taking over an ongoing series, I don't trust the man at all. So
all right.
That's all it is.
Fair assessment.
So, what's next? Men of War #1. Did you get this, Big Red?
Nah.
Okay, yeah. This book is the Sergeant Rock book. If you remember, Sergeant Rock was in the original DCU. But the funny thing about this book is that this is the original Sergeant Rock's grandson, and it's just pretty cool. It's pretty much a story of a platoon of soldiers, pretty much in the middle of a conflict, and a superhero comes in to help them. Instead, that superhero makes things worse. And we don't know who the superhero is because they never tell you the entire issue. And I just thought it was real good storytelling. I love how they tell the story in reverse order. You see the ending first and you see what led to the ending. And then you see what happened after the beginning, after what they show in the beginning. I just thought it was real good pacing. And the mystery behind who that superhero is actually pretty cool. But it's a damn shame because this will be gone after about 5 issues. They're going to cancel this book. So
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's not going to sell.
Oh, ouch.
At all.
That sucks.
It's pretty good though. I enjoyed it. Anything that? Oh yeah, you didn't even read it, so never mind.
Yeah, I didn't read the next 3.
You should though.
I will if I can find it.
It'll be gone soon, so
that is true.
All right. Next, we got Secret Avengers 16. Did you get this?
Nope.
You should have too. This is pretty good. It's a one and done story. Warren Ellis was writing this, so I figured I got to at least check it out. That's a godlike name, by the way, Big Rat. In case you didn't know that, but he's amazing. But this book wasn't necessarily amazing. It was just let's take the characters that are in this team and put them in a situation, and see how they deal with it. It was pretty good, pretty entertaining. Very fun story. I would recommend this if you're a fan of any of these characters, especially Steve. I would definitely recommend this. Okay, moving on. Swamp Thing #1. Did you read this, boy?
No,
you didn't. Come on, why are you here?
Well,
add something. Are you going to read this?
I can. For the next 2 on the list, I was gonna go pick them up today or tomorrow. But for Swamp Thing, I don't know. Basically, whatever you're gonna say right now, we'll decide whether or not I read it.
All right. This is See, this is difficult because Swamp Thing, you automatically imagine, oh man, this is gonna be gore and horror from the very beginning. It's really not. A lot of this is just like kind of set up. But the last 4 pages, like but before that, it's a really cool moment with Superman and Alec, and they're, pretty much Superman came to check on him because this is Alec, like this is him being back after years of him being dead and him pretty much back in society, and he just wanted to see how he was doing. And the answer he gives him is kind of weird. But the last 4 pages of this are horrifying, like straight, like they're. I shivered when I read those last 4 pages. It's just real. That's horror for real. I didn't know how Scott Snyder would be able to do that type of stuff. Yeah, I know he wrote American Vampire and all that, but I wasn't sure how he'd be able to do that type stuff. But yeah, the last 4 pages of this, wow, just wow.
All right, maybe I should pick this one up.
All right, the next we got Stonewatch #1. Kid didn't read this either.
But I will say that for this particular book, I was actually planning on getting this one, but my store was sold out. So unfortunately,
I'm happy about that. That's a good thing.
So because also my one of my cousins who I get comic books with as well, this is the one he wanted more than anything else. So I promise I will get this book in the future.
Really? Stonewatch #1?
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Wow, was he a fan of the original Stormwatch?
I think so. I think so when he was younger.
Yeah, they're awesome stories, all back in the day. But I ain't gonna get into that. If True Slayer was here, then y'all would hear him go on for about 10 minutes about how awesome Stormwatch is. But anyway, this is a good jumping on point for anyone that's not familiar with Apollo and Midnighter. I really like how they introduced Midnighter because I'm not gonna explain how. But like it's something that happens that's so just him. Like straight up, like when you read it, you see what I mean. Martian Manhunter didn't seem out of place. That's the biggest thing I worried about. I worried if they were going to kind of, because that's a character I really, really like. And I was really worried were they going to kind of force him to be a part of like this whole story, this whole dynamic with Apollo and Midnighter and just Stonewatch in general. And they didn't, and I was really happy to see that. What I'm waiting on though is the conflict between Midnighter and Apollo and Batman and Superman when inevitably they got to work together. I'm waiting on that shit. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, I really, really dug this. This was really amazing. I thought as a jumping on point, I thought it was amazing. As a comic book, I thought it was just good though.
I plan on picking this one up soon. And so let's talk about next. I'm going to move up on the list a little because it's also DC. Detective Comics #1, which I did read.
Oh, you want to skip up a little bit, man?
Yeah. So it's not just continuous of me not reading. This book I was okay with. I don't know. Obviously, he has much more of a back history with this series than I do. But I just wanted to check it out. Like I said, another kind of historical DC comic. And really, I just thought it was okay. I just thought it was kind of weird in points. Not really getting me to watch the next week. In reality, it was just, I don't know. I didn't really care for it. And then the ending I just thought was kind of crazy. Not in a good way. Yeah, I'm not sure if... I know my cousin got this one and he didn't like the book that much either. So this, for me, is probably not a next pickup.
All right, I'm the exact opposite when it comes to this book. I actually thought everything leading up to those last 2 pages, I really, really dug. The whole Joker-Batman dynamic. It's how it's supposed to be done. You know what I mean? And the last 2 pages just threw me off. To me, it's just not the Joker. Like, it just doesn't seem like something he'd do. It just seemed like it would kind of do something. They were just kind of trying to do something to get people to, react to it. And I just thought, like, it just came off force. But everything leading up to it, I was really impressed because Tony Daniel is known for having this boring style that it's exactly what you expect to see from comic books, and then it's like it's like the stereotype that people have for comic books. That's his writing style. And it wasn't like this in this issue. Now, let's put it like this. I thought this was a good comic, but I'm not getting it just because of that ending.
And I should clarify. I didn't hate it. I did think some of the stuff was cool. It just, like nothing. And when I was reading this, nothing was like yelling at me, "You must get the next issue." Especially, and then towards the end, it was just like, I really don't need to get the next issue. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that end, like for any Joker fan, you might feel different than I do, but most I've talked to have felt the exact same way. So,
all right. Next up, we got Animal Man #1. I did not read this one either, so you talk about this.
All right, this is a weird book. I thought it was good, but I thought it was kind of like the end is just weird. Like, I don't know if it's like a good weird or bad. I'm just not sure how I feel about it. It's just weird. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what it necessarily. I get what it means a little bit because of the character, but it's just it's something I didn't expect. And I like the whole thing that they doing at the beginning. They did at the beginning though with him not, him being retired and things like that. I never read Last Days of Animal Man because I know everyone's gonna correct me because I don't know. I have no idea what happened in that story. But just from what I'm going off, I like the dynamic at the beginning. I like him finally, coming back and being a superhero again. But I just don't know how to feel about the ending. I'm gonna check out the next one just because I'm intrigued, but the book itself was just kind of okay.
Next one, we got Heroes for Hire #11. I'm currently reading the series, but I'm still at the very end. I'm not caught up yet, so you talk about it.
Where are you in the series?
Like #2.
Oh, well, you're still at like the really, really good stuff. Like the first arc I thought was great, but I can't lie. This Fear Itself tie-in, what they're doing now, I'm a little disappointed by it. I won't even lie to you. Like it just seems real formulaic. It's like they're just kind of going through the motions now. It's more so a book about oh hey, look at your favorite character do something cool, and then you just kind of go away. Like the character you like just kind of goes away after that, and they kind of did that with Elektra here, and it just seemed like this series is about to be over anyway. I think like issue 12 is the last one. I think it was like just a little maxi series, but it's still a good story. If you've been reading it, I would say get this one too. But something about the art was a little off for me in this too. But DCnU are a good writing team, so I would recommend it. I would say.
Next, we got a book that I only read. He hasn't read this one yet. I know, shocker. It's Zorro Rides Again #2. This is a new series, and the first one I wasn't really that impressed with. I liked it, but I thought it was kind of dull in some parts. And I did think the end of it got really good, so I wasn't like that hyped for reading this. I wanted to get it just to give it another chance, and I thought this one was much better. I mean, the flow was a lot more consistent. The storytelling I thought was a lot better. They established more stuff for the future, and while still at the same time, focusing on the Zorro and on Alcalde and all the other characters. For those who don't know the Zorro story, I used to know when I was a kid. But I enjoyed this. I thought it was a nice follow-up, and it's got me in a better light in my mind for the next issue. Unfortunately, though, I don't see many people buying this comic, especially after a somewhat less than enthralling first issue. So let's move on to one that we both read, Punisher #3.
Oh, man. The fight scene in this book, Okay, I'm gonna set it up because it was set up in the second issue. Pretty much the cliffhanger in the second issue was the Vulture, and just that in itself it worked because I think in the 30+ year history of the Punisher, I don't think they ever fought each other. I can't think of Punisher and Vulture ever having a fight, like as long as I can think at least. And man, that was awesome. That was just awesome. That was awesome.
That was incredible. This is actually, I think he might disagree, but this was my favorite book of all the books I got this week. I thought this was awesome. It was so easy to read, for one. I mean, very easy to read, very enthralling, had a great ending, very great ending that makes you want to buy the next issue. And Punisher showcased why Punisher is so awesome, and like I said, it was just I just thought the book was absolutely tremendous.
Man, that fight scene, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like that might be probably the best fight scene I've read in a comic since Hulk and Scar fought each other last year. Wow. Might be. I don't know. It's close though. It's close. Was that last year? I don't know. Whenever that happened. It's the best fight scene since that one.
Next, we move to one that I only got, and he'll explain why he didn't get it. Kirby Genesis #3. I really like this. The first two, I thought they were both pretty good, but I didn't really see the amazingness that I know that most people thought. But this one, I saw it. This one, they told a lot. Like if after the second issue, you're kind of left with a lot of questions. This one pretty much answers almost all of them. They really, really explain the plot very well, I thought, and explained because also in the second issue and in the first issue, you're kind of bombarded with a million characters. And in one issue, they managed to tie all those characters in quite nicely while also introducing more, and it's still making sense. It never feels like it's overdone. It really is it's tremendous writing. And I thought the book was very enjoyable to read, and I definitely recommend it.
That's what I keep hearing. But I'm going to say that I'm not getting it because, I hated anything like that. No, I really like the first two issues. I kind of don't like the pace it's going. I mean, I think this is just read better in trade, so I'm just going to trade with it. Just me.
Next, we get to my second favorite comic today. Actually, after this week, it might be my first. And we both got this one. Awesome comic, Irredeemable #29.
Man, the last page, and then the character returns that we hadn't seen in a while, and the last page, both just awesome, just really awesome.
This whole comic was just absolutely tremendous. I thought Irredeemable, the past 6 issues, of the last 6, half of them have kind of been good, all right. Some have been pretty good, and the one was awesome. I remember specifically. And this one, they kind of, they broke new bounds. This is the best issue they've done in a long time, in my opinion. I really have to think back. This was just really, really well done. And
you know what? I hate to cut you off, but this might be my second favorite issue of the whole series.
Which would be the
might be.
Which would be the first?
Number 15, without question. But this is probably second.
Number 15. What happened in that one?
That was the one where we found out Modeus was in his side. Yeah, his little sidekick was in his body.
Oh, that. Okay.
That was and he killed the black guy, Token Black, his name, but
Volt.
Killed him.
Okay, I remember. But this was, like I said, tremendous. If you're an Irredeemable fan, it's definitely a must read.
Yeah, without question.
And I think that's all the books we have for this week.
I think that does it. But if y'all like this, we'll do this more often.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do this every week. As I said, I ain't gonna make no guarantees. Sometimes I'm just lazy. But this was fun, and I'll be seeing y'all around. Subscribe to my boy's channel right here. Y'all should do it, and
thanks.
That'll do it for me.
And I'm out as well. See you.